But this dashboard was built with the templates that were created by Matt Callis, and Nick actually came along and supported us with this. So we spent a lot of time debating the metrics which would give the best insights into the urgent emergency care team. And we've talked about those, and where the data wasn't already there present for us in national data sets, we've worked hard to go away, find it, and bring a way to incorporate that into the report. So this is this front page, obviously, not usually with the heart. So pages that the template does come with, you've got a very detailed SPC chart page, and you've got a less detailed one, which just gives you the oversight. So for people who aren't familiar with SPC, they can very easily just look at this and understand what they're looking at. You've also got your icon descriptors, single SPC page. That's just a template page, which we haven't used. And this is one which we designed to put in. So straight away, you can see here that we've categorized our metrics that we're incorporating in the report into concerning, improving, and common cause, those flip-floppy ones. Got quite a big gap in this improving one. I'd like to see this change one day. But seeing all these concerning ones on the left-hand side straight away gives you some direction on what you need to be looking at. We've also got the summary table, so you can have a quick glance categorization of and see how many are falling into which category. So as Nick's explained the icons, you can see very easily where you want to focus your attentions, and maybe not what you don't want to worry about, but the ones that you can celebrate the successes of where you've got those improvements. So that 1 big and 4 small that Becky was talking about in her quote, that comes here. So you can see our figures aren't doing so well. That's because we one of our type 1 sites transitioned to a type 3, and it was unfortunately our best performing type 1 site. So with the loss of those figures, it's really affected the numbers. So you can see straight away that our numbers are in decline. You've got the target that you can put in. So I think the slides I showed that I saw on Nick's, the target was always straight. You can actually have a varying target, so you can plan to improve. Obviously, things didn't go to plan here, but you can do that. And then you've got these more, what's the word to describe them? The kind of the story behind the measures. So if you've got a query, say this is what's happening in our 4-hour, and you want to start asking the questions, we've got some of those gaps that are filled for you. So you can see the average stay in the department for admitted patients and non-admitted. We can see that admitted, it's gone up a bit, but not half as much as the non-admitted patients. You can see their 12-hour delays and the acute bed occupancy. So you can start to understand what is and what is not affecting those metrics straight away. You can also see it in tabular form up here. So you've also got system position, so 1 big and 4 small again. So this is looking at our type 1 and 3 combined. So we've got our backstory metrics and our 1 big metric there. So it kind of gives people that whole oversight view and that direction for their conversations, which has really helped them. But sadly, our performance hasn't. But this is only going up to February, and we have done some major interventions for March, which we're hoping, really hoping, are going to see a slight upturn in those numbers. We have brought in some, well, we've got things like the 12-hour breaches, all the regular ones, which you might expect to see in a report. And we've got the slightly more niche ones as well. So we've got a lot of here. So where you've got the I with the cross through, they're ones that we've decided not to include in the report in this issue. But for instance, we've got our CAS, which is our telephone-based clinical assessment service, like 111. So we can see how CAS is performing in the callbacks, what the callback weights are. We can see our home visiting service, see what how our targets are being met and the number of home visits, and also our integrated urgent care services. So these are all services which support our type 1 and 3s, but they're perhaps not as visible normally in people's data. So this kind of gives that extra insight really for those. But they are the kind of things that we're including. And yeah, you can see that there quite clearly, I hope. Feel free to shout any questions at me. And yeah, if you want to see any other examples of dashboards, I've got them coming out of my ears. So